Would anybody like to share their Google Doc with me to get some feedback, like some early feedback? I can give you some feedback, even if you're not finished. And then the other students can have a look and maybe benefit. You don't have to do it, it's voluntary, but if you want some feedback, I can give some now. The idea I had was I look at a few now, and then you have another half an hour to work on them with some feedback. I like it when I get requests in Mandarin. Okay, let's see if I can. Okay, so let's look at this one. Oh, I see, yep. So let's zoom in a little bit. So here's one. Paper title, VisLite, Visualization Literacy and an Evaluation. So visualization, literacy, and evaluation. Let me see which one this is. VisLite. Okay, yep, that's this one. Just reminding myself which one that is. Concept. This paper presents a tutorial on the concept of visualization literacy and provides an evaluation framework to assess visualization literacy. Okay, so the first half is correct. This paper presents a tutorial on the concept of visualization literacy and provides an evaluation framework to assess visualization literacy. The second half is not quite correct. The second half is more, I would say the first half is correct, but the second half could be something like, it provides an introduction to the literature, the research literature on visualization literacy. And so it's a tutorial on visualization literacy with some literature review, like first literature review or preliminary short concise literature review on the topic. Yeah, so that's good. So the authors use a survey-based approach to evaluate visualization literacy among users, which includes questions related to visualization design. Okay, so again, this part of the sentence is correct. This part is correct. The authors use a survey-based approach to evaluate visualization literacy. But the survey is based on not users, it's based on previously published literature. So in this case, the authors use a survey-based approach to evaluate visualization literacy by looking at the previously published literature on visualization literacy. So really, it's like it's a tutorial, but it's also a little literature survey in itself. So it's actually looking and examining the previously published literature on this topic. That's the implementation. Core related work. Okay, so this is challenging, right? The core related work, how do you figure out what the previous paper is? There is a very special previous paper on this topic that this builds on, actually. It's actually, so if I look at that one, there is one piece of previous work that it builds on. Let's see if I can okay, how do I to anybody know how to zoom in on this one? Zoom in. So view, zoom in. Wow, it's not very good at zooming, is it? So it's really focusing on this one, FL22. So this is the key piece of that is the key related work for this paper. So it's actually building on one other paper, FL22. So it's actually this one, yeah, FL22. Can I write here? It's actually FL22. Yeah. Okay, data characteristics. That's right. The paper doesn't focus on a specific data set, but provides. You could also say the previous data in this case is the literature, right? The previous research papers. Okay, and there's no special evaluation technique applied here, right? It's a survey paper, so there's no special evaluation of the survey being applied here. Okay, this paper does not include any specific representative images. It does have actually specific representative images. It certainly has images, some nice images in it. So, for example, this is a good representative image right here. That's a really good one. Here's another good representative image here, right? So there are some very nice representative images here, and then the DOI. Okay, did that help at all? Did that help? I hope. So that's just one example. Thank you for sharing that, by the way, whoever shared that. Yeah. Okay, I can go over another one. Okay, that's funny. That's a funny choice. Okay, so this is another example here. How to write a visualization survey paper, a starting point. Yep, that's I can remember that one. That's correct. So I'm looking at the concept. This concept is correct. So it's an attempt to explain how to write a research paper in visualization. Oh, it's almost correct. Sorry, it's almost correct. It doesn't say how to write a research paper necessarily. It's a survey paper, actually. So a survey paper, right? So this is how to write a survey paper. Yeah, almost correct, the concept. There's a difference between survey papers and research papers. Survey papers are literature reviews. They look at they summarize lots and lots of research papers, right? Okay, the implementation, so the description starts with the overview, which should include overview diagram. Okay, so I would say for the implementation, basically they provide the structure of a survey paper, the typical structure of a survey paper, and what goes in each section. That's basically the implementation. So they provided a structure for any survey paper, a generic template, if you want to call it that, or a structure. And then they describe what's in each section, how it's organized, and what goes in each section, right? Core related work. Okay, so this is too long, right? This is too long, right? We don't want core related work. This is not really the core related work, right? If it's this long. We're trying to narrow it down to just one or two previously published papers, right? Not a whole bunch. So I would say a core piece of related work would be the how to write a visualization research paper. That is a key piece of related work. So if I go to how to write a survey, where is that paper? How to write a visualization. It's this one, right? How to write a visualization survey. Okay, that's the one. So if I go to the related work section, there it is. I would say this is the core. This is the core one, LAR 10. That's the core related work. It's another paper called How to Write a Visualization Paper. LAR 10. Yeah, that's the related one. LAR 10. That's it. Data characteristics. Yeah, this doesn't have any special data. Type of evaluation. This also doesn't have any special type of evaluation, right? Because this is a tutorial paper, so it's a little bit different. It doesn't have like, an experiment set up or a piece of software developed. So in this case, it is not applicable. Yeah. Representative image. Yeah, this is a pretty okay representative image. Let's see if there are any other images. Okay, I think this is a good representative image, figure 4, by the way. I think that's a good one. This is a nice representative image, by the way. This could also be a representative image. This could be as well. So the image you guys have chosen is actually incorrect. This image is not in this paper. So this is not a representative image from this paper, actually. So it's incorrect, that image. Okay? And then the DOI is very easy, right? Because the DOIs are all here, right? The DOIs are all here. So, any questions on that one? Was that feedback helpful? Hopefully. Hopefully that feedback was helpful. Okay, so why don't we work on these for another 15 or so minutes, and then I'll give some more feedback. Yeah? Any questions? So yeah, this is a challenging exercise. It's really challenging. I would not expect everybody to be able to do this at this point. When you're doing this for the first time, I would expect this to take something like, if you want to do it really well, maybe like 1 or 2 hours or something. Like for the coursework, you're going to have a lot more time to do this. You can be a lot more careful. My expectations for the coursework submissions are much higher. Yeah. But now the time is very short, so you don't have that much time. You know. Question?
Can you share the mail one? The mail ID?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Can you share your mail ID one?
Share which one?
Mail ID.
Is it one of these?
No, your mail ID.
My which one?
I want to share the document.
You want to share the doc? Okay, so then you. This is it. Robert Laramie at Nottingham.ac.uk. Did you share it? Do you want to share it? And then I can look at it. You shared it? Yeah. Is it this one, or am I still waiting? It's not that one, right? Okay, there it is. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so PCP Ed, parallel coordinates plots for ensemble data by, okay, yep, okay. Okay, so the concept is getting close. I mean, this is difficult. This is difficult. So what this research paper is trying to do, is trying to contribute, is some improvements to the parallel coordinates visualization technique, specifically for ensemble data. So that's difficult because you might not know what the parallel coordinates technique is, and you might not know what ensemble data is. But that's the idea. They're trying to make improvements to parallel coordinates plots from ensemble data. Now, how would I know that? I mean, how would you get that information? Yeah. So you can see from the first sentence that this is really about parallel coordinates plots. Yeah. And so it's really trying to enhance the PCPs for large data set sizes. So it's talking about like a dense parallel coordinates plot. And okay, so this part is correct. Explain the ratio of data into unfold. In dense PCPs, that's really what the summary is. So you got partially correct because you said exploring the relationships between data dimensions. Oh, I see. Okay, I see now. Yeah, so it's very close. You just need to mention PCPs, parallel coordinates plots, basically. Yes. Okay, so basically the novel implementation are lenses, this is correct. The subtraction operator and collapse. Oh, this is very good. This one, implementation. This is very good. Good job. The only thing I would say, instead of angles, I would say glyphs. But otherwise, it's very, very good. So that's correct.
I was thinking I use glyphs, but I think maybe students can understand that.
Yep. Correlated work. Yeah, that's I think that's a good guess for correlated work. Yeah. I think this one, it's you could say this one. This is a survey paper. Let's see the correlated work. So that's a survey paper, right? That's another these are all survey papers. Okay, so yeah, to say exactly what the correlated work is not that easy for this one. Usually it's near the end. We focus on sort of we introduce novel effects. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. Clustering, edge processing, interaction and crushing. Yeah, I think that's fine. These surveys, yeah, that's good. That's fine. So there are 3 related surveys. You would put the references in there if you were doing this, like for coursework 1, you'd put the references in there. Yep. Okay, so high dimensional data with a lot of entries. Yes, high dimensional data. That's right. And you would also say ensemble data. Yeah. Yes. So the type of evaluation is a case study on COVID-19 ensemble data. That's correct. This is correct. Well done. I'm even going to watch this. I'm even going to say, nice job. That's correct. Some images. You could put some images in there if you want, right? But there are lots of images to choose from here, aren't there? So you could just choose an image. That could be an image right here. Nice and sideways. Are there any that this could also be an image? This one could be one. Yep, that could be, so any images are fine, really. Good, that was a very good one, overall, very good. Okay. Okay, I guess we can look at some more. Shall we look at some more? I won't be able to look at every one of them because we don't have that much time, but I'll look at as many as I can. Oh, what's this? Let's see. Okay. Open source software and computer science. Okay. Okay, that's fine. It's not a very exciting paper, this one, by the way. This is, but it's fine. So, the article discusses the pros and cons of using open source software for finance and education. I would say it's not, it doesn't have anything to do with finance. So there's nothing about finance. The pros and cons of using open source, I would say for higher education. Yeah. Okay, so for the implementation, I would actually use an image for this one. Okay, so let's have a look at that. I see. So for the implementation of this one, I would actually use this image. I would say the authors proposed the following implementation right here. So the implementation is, in this special case, the implementation is described in an image. So you could say, like, this image describes the implementation and has the following components, or something like that. The summary of the implementation is right here in this image. Core related work, OpenOffice.org. Okay, I wouldn't say that that's the core related work. Let's see what the related work section actually says. Open source software, the history of open source software. Impact of open source software, open source, okay. Okay. Now, this is challenging because this paper doesn't have a very good related work section, to be quite frank, right? It doesn't have the classic related work section that we would want to see in a typical research paper. So identifying the core related work is not going to be as easy here. So I would say this doesn't have a related work section. So I think I would just put that in there. I would just write, you know, there is no related work section in this paper, something like that. Yeah. Okay, so data characteristics, the case study is for comparing the strengths. So this case study, this actually is the evaluation. Yeah, that's part of the evaluation. Data characteristics not applicable in this case. There's no description, there's no data set that authors are trying to process in this paper. Okay, so that's that one. That paper is not like the traditional standard research paper. It's more like a tutorial. It's basically a tutorial, that one. It's not really like original research in some ways. Okay, research methods. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay. Surface-based flow visualization view. Okay, so this one, yeah. Surface-based flow visualization. This one, is that the full title? Is that the full title? I guess. Surface. Feature surface, stream surface. Surface-based, okay, yeah, that is the full title. Okay, I just wanted to double check. So again, this is actually a survey paper. So this is a literature survey paper, actually. That's what this is. So the concept here is the authors present a literature survey of previously published research papers on the topic of flow visualization and surfaces. That's the concept there. It's a survey paper, that one. Yeah. Now there is some previous core-related work on this, in this survey actually. There is some previous correlated work. So what would that be? I can let's have a look. Contribution and summary, constructing surfaces for flow visualization state. Let's see if I can find the. Okay, I see. So there's no section called related work specifically. So it's really, this could be one of the previous papers. This is also a previous core paper. So yeah, it would really be these ones in the beginning. This is difficult though. Right, it's really these are two of the previous core related papers in this particular research paper. It's not, so those are the two. That's difficult to know though. You'd have to read it very, very carefully, and there's no classic related work section because it's a survey paper. The entire thing is related work, right? The entire thing. Data characteristics. So in this case, the data is the previous literature. That is the data. Because it's a literature survey. Literature survey. So yeah, you could say that the type of evaluation is not really applicable in this case. But you can say, you can mention the categorization. That's fine. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, representative images. So when I say representative images, that means, does everybody know what that means? You take an image from the paper and you put it in there. That's what that means. Right? You actually take an image, copy it, and paste it in there and say, here's an image from that paper. Does that make sense? Okay, and then the DOI and the PDF. Good? Okay, so here's another one. Okay, time class, visual analysis, classification of time series data. Okay, yes, concept. We're trying to provide a visual analysis system which assists in label and understandable animal behavior. Okay, so let's have a look at that one. Let's have a look. There it is. So for the concept. So it's a visual analytics system for the classification of time series data for movement ecologists. That is the concept right there. So I would use that as the concept. Yeah. And this is also the concept right here. If I could highlight this sentence, I would do that. There it is. That's also a summary of the concept. Right? A visual analytics system for the semi-automatic classification of animal behavior. That's the concept. Yeah. So it's stated in the abstract and in the introduction, which is typical. Now the implementation is, I think, going to be trickier for this one. I think it's going to be trickier. So let's see what you said about the implementation. by the way, this is implementation. This is implementation. This is actually not really about the concept, it's about the implementation. That second point you have there. Okay, visualization pattern, I would say pattern matching. Pattern matching and I would say human-computer interaction. Now this here, this is evaluation. That's part of the evaluation right here. So that goes down into type of evaluation. Yeah. Correlated work? Yes, this is correct. This is correct, the correlated work. Well done. Well done to that group. Spatial dimensionality, 2D. This is kind of tricky. You could say 1D, 2D, or 3D here, because this is actually time series data. And it's multi-dimensional. Yes, that's correct. So this is data that's changing over time. So it's time-dependent data, actually. It's not static. It's changing over time. Okay, the evaluation is, yep, the type of evaluation is case study, and domain expert feedback. Yeah. Let's see, how would you know that? That's, by the way, this is a nice summary of the implementation, by the way. That could be that's a nice representative image. So there it is. So that's nice. There's a special section called evaluation, so it's easy to find, right? That's nice. So you can skip right to the evaluation. And look, it even says case study, and another case study. So case studies on turtles and birds. Case studies. This is actually case studies on turtles and birds. Oh, there's a user study. Oh, I didn't. Okay, so there's also a user study there. And a user study. So that's a lot of evaluation. Does that make sense? Okay, representative image, very good, very good, very good. Yep. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Like I said, this is really challenging, really challenging. But I hope that this little practice exercise helped, so that when it comes time to do the coursework, it will be helpful. Yeah. And we're recording this, so you can have a look at it later on as well. Yeah. Questions?
What is the differential analysis and evaluation?
Say it again.
Analysis and evaluation.
So analysis is like, what approaches do they use to analyze their results? Like, there are different ways to analyze the results, like statistics, or visually, using some visualization, and other. That's something that could be incorporated into the template. For coursework 1, we're leaving that out, actually. We're shifting the focus to the evaluation. What kind of evaluation is, described there? Yeah.
The evaluation is what also students for check if they are working through those.
Yeah, the evaluation is saying, this is how we're going to demonstrate that what we did is useful, and what we stated our contribution is. Like, it will say, like, the contribution could be like, we introduce a new method for this, but then in the evaluation you have to then apply, you have to apply it somehow and demonstrate to the reader, like, look, I really did this. I'm not just saying I did it, I'm going to demonstrate now that I actually did it.
Like a case study.
It could be a case study, it could be a human-computer interaction study. Like, if you say, oh, I wrote software that makes this job easier or faster, then you test it out on real users, you're demonstrating, okay, this is my evaluation. Or I have this data set, and I'm going to process this data set at twice the speed as my predecessor. Or I have a data set that occupies like 10 gigabytes of memory, and I say, I'm gonna process this with only half the memory of my predecessor. Something like that. Like more efficient, faster, easier, Any other questions? Everybody excited about coursework 1? It's challenging. It's challenging. Like, this is the world of research. You're getting like a little bit of like you're jumping straight in to the ocean of research now, but we're trying to give you the tools, some tools to make sense of all of this. Right? Imagine you didn't have this tool at all. Imagine it didn't exist. It didn't exist it only exists for, 10 years or something like that. Imagine you just had to jump in and you had no strategies or tools or methodologies or nothing. Think of how much worse that would be. Yeah. Okay, we'll finish. We'll wrap it up. You're free to go. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thank you.